Roger, I want to start talking to you about the board. Historically, you have been refreshingly critical of the board as agent model. In a great discussion on the topic, you once said words to the effect of: the agency theory argues that managers are imperfect agents who won't act in shareholders' best interests, so we have to discipline them. What's our tool? The board of directors. An agent for an agent problem. Where on earth did this logic come from? Either there is an agency problem or there is not an agency problem, and we shouldn't be bothering with any of this crap. But the idea that a board will discipline management is a fantasy. I think of boards like fire insurance that works except when there is a fire. Roger, you've been both a CEO with a board and an independent director. Do you see any value in boards?
Well, let me make sure I've qualified it, which is that's referring to the governance boards of publicly traded companies where there's a regulatory requirement to have such a board. Do I see value in boards? Public sector boards, nonprofits, etc. Yes, lots of, and it was some of the funnest times I've had in my life have been serving on boards of that sort. So the question is governance boards of for-profit publicly traded companies. And there the value is much lower than people think on average. And while some boards function well, I would say if you just take the FTSE or the S&P 500 on average, I think the boards are net neutral, right? So they have on average, no value. They cost a lot and take a lot of time. That doesn't mean there aren't well-performing boards, but the state of board governance, in my view, is quite low.
Why is that?
It's mainly because management generally doesn't want them. Now, there are some managers who want a board and want that board to govern them and give them advice, etc. Interestingly enough, those are the managers who don't need one. Like I put A.G. Lafley, my friend and co-author, in that category. A.G. Lafley had a great board. They did great stuff together. It's because he didn't need it, right? And so he would actually go to the board with real questions, have real dialogue with the board, take their advice. Why? It's because he was an awesome CEO and just wanted to be awesomer for Procter & Gamble. But, the CEO of Enron wanted to make sure his board was completely in the dark, didn't know anything, and wouldn't stop him from raping and pillaging the company. So we needed insurance. We, the capital markets, let's say, we needed the insurance. In the Enron case, got none of it, right, because of the way boards work. In P&G, we didn't. AG would have been just fine without the board, but he was even better because he had a great board. That's the logical conundrum. When we need boards most, we have them least.